How mandatory is your gun buyback program?
It's mandatory.
So one of the things that's going to be important is to create a registry, and that's something that we should be thinking about on a federal level.
Carry guns? You think more guns lead to more death?
If you are a Second Amendment supporter, you need to understand this. What I'm talking about in this video is the dirty secret of the anti-gun movement. I know we all know this inherently, right? That these people are authoritarians. But Gun Owners America just tweeted out, this is from December 1st, 2 days ago, this recording, and it shows you what is actually the goal of the anti-gun movement. And I know it sounds crazy, it sounds hyperbolic, and they will deny it to their grave. But the anti-gun movement fundamentally wants to take all guns from law-abiding Americans. That is not speculation, that is not hyperbole, that is just the case. I really hope you do enjoy this video. If you do find it useful, please do subscribe down below. We're gonna get into it. This channel, by the way, is dedicated to bringing the Second Amendment to younger audiences. If you are interested in that, please do subscribe down below. I really appreciate it. Okay, so this is a video from Somali American Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, and she's talking about guns, and it is ugly. I'm about to play it for you now.
So one of the things that's going to be important is to create a registry. So we know where the guns are. We can know when they go into the wrong hands, when they're stolen. And we can actually start a buyback program. I know that some of the Minnesota legislators have had that legislation, and that's something that we should be thinking about on a federal level.
It is clear. It is about confiscation. The reason you create a gun registry is, in the end, gun confiscation. And that's why, the Biden Department of Justice made people hold on to the FFL records longer than they were otherwise entitled to do previously, because they want the ability, at some point when it becomes politically viable, to use these records and take the guns back from law-abiding Americans. And that's the reality behind gun registries. It is purely to track you, not to track a criminal. It is to track you. Of course, criminals can obtain guns illegally, so the whole gun registry thing doesn't work anyway. And this is another fundamental point here. A lot of us consider Ilhan Omar to be a radical far left person, right? Someone that couldn't run for president. She's too far left to run for president. But it's not just her. And this is a point I want to hammer across in this video. I'm about to play for you Kamala Harris. This is almost president Kamala Harris, right? This is someone that was vice president of the United States, right? And the reason I say she was almost president wasn't just the election, right? There was a person that could have died and made her president at any point. And she supports this as well. Take a look.
This business about taking everyone's guns away, Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away. So stop with the continuous lying about this stuff. I support buybacks, and it's something I'm so passionate about and so looking forward to being president to address. We've got to deal with this.
How mandatory is your gun buyback program?
It's mandatory. Stop with the continuous lying about this stuff.
She is lying. It is a lie. The anti-gunners, when they say, we just want to take away guns from criminals, we just want better background checks, that's not true. That is simply not true, and it has never been true. The reason we have the Second Amendment is to prevent us getting taken over by tyrannical governments, and those governments are the sort of ones that they want. That's just the reality. That's just true. And there's a lot of examples of this. Look at the Labour Party in the UK, right? I follow UK politics very closely. As soon as they got into power, they tried to introduce digital ID that lets the government track everything you do and makes it a lot easier, conveniently, for the government to do things like take away your bank account, deplatform you, reduce, not let you access healthcare, right, immediately based on one click of a button. And their nominal reason for that was to prevent illegal immigration, which obviously we all know they don't care about, and it doesn't really work anyway. That's what all of these points are. These are all Trojan horses. These are all Trojan horse attacks. It is very obvious, it is very clear, and they're all lying about it. There's no reason to believe them in anything they say, because when you look at it, it's clear. We have the clips. It's not me making it up. You saw it. And that's what people need to understand in the Second Amendment movement. They want to take your guns. It is not hyperbole. It is not exaggeration. They want to take your guns, and we cannot let them. They have no logical arguments either. It's the same as the digital ID thing. They have no logical arguments. Here's an example, perfect example of what I'm talking about. Here, check this out.
Talking about gun violence.
In a school that allows teachers to
carry guns? You think more guns lead to more death?
Would you co-sponsor
more guns lead to more death?
Would you co-sponsor
Look at the data. You're not looking at any data. You're carrying the water for the gun lobby.
No.
Look at the data. More guns lead to more deaths.
For the kids.
States that have open carry laws have more deaths.
In every school that
States
allows
that
carry,
have open
there's
carry
never been a
laws
shooting.
have more deaths.
There's never been a shooting.
Are you listening to what I'm saying?
Yeah, calm down.
Calm down? Children are dying.
I know, I've got
9-year-old children.
I've got
The solution is not arming teachers. Have you ever worked in the school? 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 It's a yes or no question. Have you ever worked in the school? You will not answer my question. Don't stop and talk to me. Okay, I'll bring it down a notch.
All right.
Have you ever worked in the school?
I've got a bill to repeal.
I worked in the school for 20 years. I was a teacher. I was screaming before you came and interrupted me. I worked in the school for 20 years. I worked in the school 20 years. I was a teacher.
This is what he does for a living. He knows what he's saying is wrong. In the largest study conducted on this issue, it's in the Journal of Urban Health. This is not a right-wing publication. They found a link between gun violence and guns. They did not find a link when controlling for other factors between guns and all homicides. And that's obvious when you think about it. Obviously, possession of a gun will increase the risk of you to commit a murder with a gun. Like, obviously, because if you commit a murder with a gun, guess what you have? A gun. So the only way, obviously, that, like, if you subsect the group of everybody into two different units, people with guns, people without guns, guess who commits more gun murders? The people with the guns. Obviously, because people without the guns can't commit gun murders because they don't have guns. Like, obviously. But that's not the problem, of course. What we're looking at is all-cause homicide and whether or not increased rates of gun ownership causes increased gun deaths. Now, of course, it doesn't actually matter because the acts of criminals can't infringe on my right as a law-abiding citizen to do what I like. But the reality is, the data doesn't even show what they're trying to say. The data shows the opposite. I will link this study down below. It is a big study, one of the biggest ever, conducted on this issue. And they had to admit, I'm sure through gritted teeth, that guns do not increase the homicide rate when controlling for other factors, obviously, like you would do in any study. So he's lying. He knows he's lying. But the only thing they have is these emotional outbursts and these talking points. And they have to, because fundamentally, they are wrong. It's not like most issues where you have an argument one way or another, a gradation one way or another. It's not like that. We are lucky in the gun community because the thing that we are trying to convince people of is just factually correct. There's no argument either way. It's not like the practicality aligns one way and we're arguing in a moral case. No. It's not like the legal framework aligns one way and we're arguing like a practical case. Not that either. We win on the practical, the moral, the legal, the historical, everything. We win top to bottom. Top to bottom we win. And that is actually unique in American politics. And that's why we have such a robust movement. We are right, they are wrong. The data's on our side, the Constitution's on our side, the Supreme Court's on our side, and the history of firearms regulation in America is also on our side. And of course, the morality behind being able to defend yourself and being able to resist government tyranny, that's on our side as well. And I know I'm getting a little worked up about this, but that's a great thing. That's a great thing that they have to resort to lying, emotional outbursts, and just general deception. That's great, because we don't have to. They do. And I don't want you guys to ever forget that. That is incredibly powerful and incredibly great. I hope you did enjoy the video, though. If you did, please do subscribe down below if you're new. Hope you did enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one.